welcome to Broken Entertainment. So, last week I produced some videos ahead of time. I was not in a situation where I could make new ones in direct response to breaking news and so on. So I didn't cover the Games Workshop policy change in their IP stuff, but I do want to talk about that now, and in particular to the fact that I think it speaks more to what creators need to be thinking about and considering rather than a problem on the part of Games Workshop. Although I think there is a problem and we'll get to that. But, I mean, really, people may not like it and it's an uncomfortable thing to say in some circles. But Games Workshop has control of their IP. It's a legal thing. They can put out these policies and we don't have to like them. And I think that it's stupid. I think restricting people from creating certain content is does no good for your PR. I'll put it that way. And we'll go ahead and get into the specifics on that in a little bit. And it's also kind of going in a silly direction as well on the gaming front. But essentially, the timeline is this. Games Workshop created Warhammer Plus streaming service. They hired a bunch of fan animators from YouTube, and then they started telling everybody, no, you can't make fan animations. And initially, they just kind of cracked down on it. They did the usual routine that these companies will do, and do copyright claims and all that stuff. And then they updated their policy to a zero tolerance policy, and everyone freaked out. So this is the specific part that they're freaking out about. We have a zero tolerance policy in respect of infringement of our intellectual property rights. This includes counterfeit models, imitation models, recasting and 3D printing, illegal downloads, unauthorized use of our trademark. And I think those things there, basically everybody kind of understands, right? Those are damaging things. Those will hurt your IP, hurt its value, and can, they're basically robbery, right? Where people start to have a problem is fan films and animations. Now, they did not care for years about fan films and animation. Why do they care now? Because they have Warhammer Plus streaming, and they're afraid, given the quality of these fan animations that have been put out in recent years, that somebody could actively compete with them on YouTube. And yeah, they probably can, especially since YouTube is free. The issue is that they're well within their rights to do that. It sucks. From a PR perspective, it's stupid. All you're going to do is piss off your fans. It's disrespectful in a way because none of these people are making, some of them might have been making a little bit of money off of monetization, and they can go after that and say you can't monetize these videos, but that would still allow the production of them. But what they're trying to do is safeguard their production and say nobody can make these but us now. It's the same thing CBS did with Star Trek, and it got the same result because people enjoy these fan films. I've seen some of them. They're pretty good. Now, all of a sudden, you can't make them because Games Workshop has a streaming service. Well, my answer to Games Workshop on that would be make your own content so good that people view the fan animations as amateurish. That's the solution. Okay? And also that people, if your if your animations are good, if your shows are good, people will probably watch both, and the fan animations might even bring in new fans, and might even bring them over your streaming service to see what the professionals are doing. That said, this all falls under the same category to me, as I have been saying for a while now. Creators need to create their own content. Fan animations are cool, fan films are cool, we all enjoy them, but if you really want to get out there as a creator and you're really worried you don't want to be shut down, you need to make your own stuff. At the end of the day, ask yourself the question, is the company that's trying to chase me down and knock me off the internet because I made a film effectively praising their IP for $0, is that company worth my creative energy, or should I be spending it on my own stuff? Because I think increasingly we need to be spending that on our own stuff. Now, I've never created any fan films. I have done fan fiction and so on. Story background stuff for my armies. But nothing I would release publicly because I don't want to get in trouble with Games Workshop and because it's not my IP. I don't intend, it's made for my own interest and that's it. So while it's underhanded and disrespectful to the fans in a way, and also completely legally reasonable, the question really is, okay, if they don't want you to make their content, just don't make it. Go make your own stuff. I know you love it. You've thoroughly enjoyed doing it. But I think people just need to make their own. The more of us that are out there that make our own stuff, that have our own IPs, that have our own content, the more we can get away from giant conglomerates controlling all of our entertainment. At the end of the day, it's the thing that's going to get you away from this stuff. And you can always make it on your own time if you want to make some fan stuff anyway, and just don't release it, I guess. But to me, these animations are putting hours and hours and hours into these. And I'm like, it's a love letter to Warhammer 40K, but Games Workshop's not interested. They're throwing your letter away. So you can fight that, or you can say, you know what, I'm gonna go put that energy into something of my own. And maybe not everybody can do that. I understand, but that's where I think personally that we need to be going as creatives on YouTube and in general. Now, the other big storm that has come of this comes from the gaming side, the video gaming side. They have gone after modders for Total Warhammer, the various versions thereof, saying that, the gist of it is they've been asked to remove Patreon links from all mods associated, or those mods get shut down. Well, I mean, yeah, you're making money off of somebody else's content. So, it's an unfortunate situation I find myself in, because I'm kind of like, I get the firestorm from the fans, and I was there with them when CBS did it to Star Trek, and I'm there to an extent as well with the fan animations. I'm not there at all for the mods. Anybody making a mod with a Patreon link to support them to make mods, you're making money off of somebody else's IP. I'm sorry. But as far as these fan animations go, I get it. But I also get it, if that makes any sense. Like, I get it from the company's perspective, and I get it from the fans' perspective, and really the company's making the wrong decision, because these fan animations only draw people in. And if the company would focus on making their own content so much better that people would view the fan stuff as just fan stuff. Look at fan content for Star Trek years ago, looked like it was done in people's basement, because it usually was. And, you didn't compare it to the TV shows. Well, modern stuff looks pretty darn good, and a lot of it looks very much like the TV shows. And the answer to CBS, and the answer I have to Games Workshop, is make your stuff better. Make their stuff look like Amateur Hour. And let the fan service stuff just be fan service, and let it draw people in, and it's going to get people talking about it. It's going to get people interested in it. They might go rewatch some old favorite episodes from your show, or go watch some stuff on Warhammer Plus streaming. But at the same time, if you're a content creator, ask yourself, if you're making these fan animations, or if you're involved in this stuff, the question you have to ask after a certain point when these companies say no, 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 is, do I want to put in the hours for somebody that doesn't like me? Because they don't like you. You're competition to them. So if they don't like you, do you want to put in the hours? So my statement, my advice, if you will, and my belief is all content creators should make their own content or collaborate with others to make their own content. You know, maybe you're very good at animation, but you're not that great at coming up with a story. Well, find somebody. There's plenty out there, writers on YouTube that are really good at making stories, and collaborate with them, make something awesome. That's your own IP. That's their IP. That's your IP. It's shared. Nobody can come after you. Nobody can say, hey, this is ours. Yes, it's fan service, but we don't care. We're going to crush you under our thumb anyway. You know, thank you for the love letter I spit in your face. That's the situation you're in. That's the situation I think all content creators are in, because so many of us came up in an environment of, I want to make Star Trek. I want to make Star Wars. I want to be making movies. I want to be making shows and writing stories about these characters that I've come to love, these IPs that I've come to love. But when you've grown up, now those companies don't want you, don't want any of us. They just want our money. You know, so you come up wanting to do these things, dreaming of working on Star Trek or Star Wars, what have you, and now you can't. But you can take that creative energy and make something awesome of your own. You know, if you're a 40K fan animator, I would love to hear from you in the comment section. But if you've been shut down, the question I have is, why not turn around and put that work, put that awesome effort and awesome creativity into something that you can own? Because nobody can come after you if you own your own stuff. It's the same reason, it's a variant of the same reason that I chose to self-publish, because I want to own my stuff. I'm really interested to hear what everybody thinks. You know, this is just my thoughts. I certainly am not claiming to know everything here. And I'm not claiming that Games Workshop is morally in the right. They are legally in the right, absolutely. It's undeniable. Morally, you know, even non-morally, even if you just consider it from a pure PR perspective, it's just dumb. But Games Workshop makes a lot of dumb PR decisions, so this isn't really anything new, right? I mean, look, if you've been around Games Workshop products as long as I have, you've seen them do some stupid stuff. But everybody loves their content. And here's the other thing. If you own your content, you can make money off of it. Maybe you won't be a millionaire, but you can make money off of it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. Hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you next time.